tell them check out the blog, bro. YouTube channel called MKO. It's Pugilism Boxing Algorithm. M stand for Marvin and Kevin's initials KO. Yeah. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what is good? This is the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel. We're talking all things boxing as per usual. And of course, like this channel, subscribe to this channel. More content coming your way very soon. Right now, it's just going to be a little brief one. I'm just going to speak about the first card in the UK since the lockdown restrictions, which was Frank Warren, his Queensberry Promotions. They brought boxing back to Stratford, to the BT studios there in Stratford. And I managed to sort of watch most of the card there, and yeah, just want to give my little thoughts on it, a few results from the card as well. So first of all, it was definitely very refreshing to see that Frank Warren himself, one of the biggest promoters in the country, brings boxing back to the UK. He even managed to beat his bitter rival Eddie Hearn to the punch, because Matchroom, they're going to be doing their thing, but you know, that's not until next month. I believe that's not until August. I think they were trying to do something this month, but didn't work out. So they've had to wait until August, while Frank Warren, his Queensberry Promotions, they were able to successfully bring boxing back to the UK. And that happened just about 8 days ago from today. So yeah, it was last Friday. And yeah, it was a decent card overall. I'll just go through a few of the results. We had Brad Foster versus James Beach, which was the main event of the evening. That was sort of a close fight. Foster managed to win it. I think it was unanimously on points. He did box very well. You know, he was just sort of edging and just sort of shading things there. It wasn't a one-sided affair, but you could just see that Foster just sort of managed to have, for the majority, sort of a control over things, a control over how things were going. And you know, he done it unanimously on the judges' scores. You had 116, 113, which I think, yeah, that kind of reflects sort of how close things were. 117, 111 twice for the other judges. So you had 117, 111 twice, and you had 116, 113 on the other judges' scorecard. But as I say, it was quite a close affair. But you know, I definitely sort of went with what the judges said there. You know, Brad Foster definitely done enough to win, and it was a good one as well, because this card gave a good bit of exposure to the fighters as well, because you know, coming back as the first card after this pandemic and all these lockdown restrictions is a good thing, you know. So them being the first to sort of come back, I'm hoping that they were sort of well paid for this, and you know, I'm hoping that this card sort of put a lot of eyes on these boxers who might not have got a lot of attention had it been just under the normal circumstances. So yeah, good on these guys, and well done Foster for winning that. So we had another one here, WBO European Super Middleweight title holder Hamza Shiraz. He won. You know, he beat Paul Keane, and that was via a stoppage victory. The corner of Keane, they pulled out their fighter after 6 rounds of punishment, because you know, Shiraz was very sort of dominating in that fight. He was sort of all over the job. So in that fight, Keane, his corner, pulled their man out after 6 rounds. And yeah, again, very good performance for the 11-0 with now 7 KOs. Hamza Shiraz, who done very well in his fight, and yeah, it was a great showcase by him. Good performance. And we also have heavyweight prospect Mr. David Adeleye, who's another London heavyweight. and he was able to stop his opponent, Matt Gordon, who was 2-3-1 in the second round. And to be quite frank with you, the way Adeleye came in, you know, he was almost looking to end proceedings in the very first round. You know, that's how sort of domineering this guy was. I mean, the opponent was clearly sort of overmatched. He clearly didn't really have much of a hope. And you know, Adeleye with that performance, I guess he won't really have learned too much from that. You know, it was a kind of blowout job, but again, I think it's still a good performance for him in terms of, you know, it's gonna sort of raise his confidence. You know, let him know that he can be quite confident in his punching power. And you know, it's one of those that's a sort of confidence boosting fight. He won't have learned anything, I don't think, from stopping that guy in 2 rounds. But I think again, it's a good one to get the ring rust off. And a guy like Adeleye, I think, for me personally, I think as the commentary was saying, and the guys there, David Hayes, Steve Bunce, you know, they know this, the drill. And a guy like Adeleye, the main thing he needs to be is busy. And if he keeps busy, you know, he's been talking about Daniel Dubois and sort of matching up with him and trying to match those sort of accomplishments. But as the guys were saying on BT Sports, there's no need to rush into that sort of stuff. All he needs to do, just take his time. You know, he's a big guy. He's got size on his side, and he's got time on his side. And you know, if they guide him right fights at the right time, keep, you know, feeding him these guys, gradually step up the competition. You know, you never know. One day this guy could be, you know, another sort of contender. The way the heavyweight division is looking now, I definitely think with the right guidance, the right fights, you know, the right sort of developing fights, this guy Adeleye, I think he's definitely someone to sort of look out for in the future. I definitely think he's a potential star if he's guided right, and you know, if he's tested, if he has those acid tests, you know, and he passes them. I don't see why this guy can't be sort of a one to watch for the future. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on the show overall. It was a good show. The first show back after lockdown. It was a definitely decent show. You got to see some knockouts, you got to see some action, and most importantly, we got to see the sport that we love, boxing, back on our TV screens. So until next time, as we say, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's MKO Pugilism, over and out. See you on the next one.